will have a GCF outside of 1. Okay, so 20x squared minus 54x plus 36. We need to find the GCF of these three numbers, 20, 54, and 36. I'm going to write down the factors of my smallest number. That way I can see what my options are. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Those are the options I have for my GCF. And there is no bigger number outside of 2 that will go into both 20, 54, and 36. So 2 is my GCF. So I'm going to factor out of 2 from this trinomial. And when I do that, I'm left with 10x squared minus 27x plus 18. If you're wondering how I got this new trinomial, take each of these terms and divide it by your GCF. 20x squared divided by 2 is 10x squared. 54x divided by 2 is 27x. And 36 divided by 2 is 18. And just make sure you keep your signs. Now we're going to go through the same process that we did in our other two problems. We're going to take this A and multiply it to our C. Don't forget that 2 is part of our problem and we can't forget it. We have to continually bring it down and use it in our problem. So 2 comes down. We lose the 10 and just make this a simple x squared minus 27x plus 180. Alright? The factors of 180 are many. We have several numbers that will multiply together to get 180. 1 times 180, 2 times 90, 3 times 60, 4 times 45, 5 times 36, 6 times 30, 9 times 20, 10 times 18, and the very last one, 12 times 15, is the one that we need. We need two numbers to add to get 27, which are 12 and 15. Again, we bring down the 2. We have x minus 12 and x minus 15. Now that we're at this point, we still have to remember we initially multiplied by this 10, so now we have to come back and divide by this 10. Bring down the 2. 12 over 10 can be reduced. So instead of having minus 12 over 10, we change that to minus 6 over 5. Alright? The same thing for 15 over 10. We can reduce that to 3 over 2. Finally, we're ready for what we call the kickback. Kick that denominator back in front of that variable. And we're almost done. So our final answer is 2 times 5x minus 6 times 2x minus 3. These are our factors for our trinomial that we started with. 2 is a factor, 5x minus 6 is a factor, and 2x minus 3 is also a factor. You must include this whole thing as your answer. If it only asks you to factor, you would stop at this point. However, if your problem asks you to solve, which means to get your x-intercepts, you have to take each of your factors that actually contain a variable. The 2 doesn't have the variable x, so you don't set it equal to 0. But these two factors, 5x minus 6 and 2x minus 3, you have to set those equal to 0 and use algebra to simplify and solve for x. So add 6 to both sides of the 5x minus 6 equals 0. You have 5 times x equals 6. Divide by 5 on both sides, and we get x equals 6 over 5. Or, as a decimal, that is 1.2. So that is one of our x-intercepts, or one of our solutions. Now we're going to take 2x minus 3, set it equal to 0, add 3 to both sides. We have 2 times x equals 3. Divide by 2, we get x equals 3 over 2, or you can write this as a decimal. 1.5. This is your other solution. So, if your problem asks you to solve or find the zeros, find the roots, you have to finish the factoring by setting each of your factors that have a variable equal to 0. However, if your problem only asks you to list the factors of your trinomial, this is what you would have. 2, 5x minus 6, 2x minus 3. These are the 3 factors. These are the 2 solutions. Again, this method is referred to as the 5-step method or the kickback method. There are other ways of working this problem, and you can refer to YouTube for those. Goodbye.